What's up, everybody? Kevin Oak here. Going into another sumo deadlift session. Once again, I'm pulling from 1.5 inches at the moment. But last time I actually didn't tell you, I was using the new Rogue Westside Power Bar. It's a very stiff bar. I believe they use it in the USA PL now, but a lot of people I know personally that like pulling with a stiff bar have recommended it to me. I know Pete Rubish uses it. A lot of the guys at Super Training use it, so I decided to go out and just purchase one so I can start pulling with a stiffer bar, because I do prefer a stiffer bar when I do sumo deadlifts. So far it's been great. The neuro is great. It's really stiff. It's very similar to an Eleiko bar, so I'm happy with that. But I'm getting into this session. Once again, I was kind of just planning on not really upping the volume yet, just again working with singles. I decided to work up a little heavier than I did the other day. The other day I went up to about very low 600s. I think it may have been 605 pounds. Today I ended up working up to about 700 pounds. And once again, I'm pulling from about 1.5 inches off the floor. Just because it helps me in terms of mobility. I'm probably not really able to pull efficiently from the ground yet, but I'm sure within a month or two I'll be able to. But I'm also pulling beltless just so I can make sure I'm mentally just focusing on keeping my core very tight, keeping it in the correct position so I don't continue to have the same issues I have with my SI joint. So that's also a big part of the reason why I'm pulling sumo, mainly because when I pull sumo, I can kind of keep my body stacked on top of each other, where I'm not really bending at the waist so much. I'm not bending my lower back. I can keep my spine very neutral when I do sumo, which is why I've been able to do it again so quickly when I have these issues. I haven't squatted again yet. I probably won't do it again until next week at the earliest, and I'll start squatting light. The issue with squats for me mainly is on the descent with the lower back issue. What can happen is as you're bending down, depending on how much your shoulders are kind of leaning forward, it can start to feel like it's pulling on your lower back. And I'm just kind of trying to stay away from that until I feel, just a lot closer to 100%. I'm sure I won't be 100% yet once I start squatting, but, I just want to be a little closer to feeling, just healthy enough to be able to squat efficiently and effectively without feeling like I'm going to get hurt. So I'm also doing these things. I was really kind of looking for where I would have technique breakdowns, just so I know now what I'll, just have to kind of look into, and I'll know now just what I'll have to fix. So off the bat, one of the main issues I know I was having was my left arm starts to bend, which could definitely lead to, things like bicep tears, stuff like that. Nasty stuff you really just don't want to fucking deal with. It just ends up being a huge headache. That, I'm just kind of having issues with breaking the bar off the ground. Obviously I'm using a stiff bar and pulling beltless, so I'm not really putting myself in the easiest position to be able to do so. But one thing I'm really going to have to just work on is holding that beginning position until the bar breaks, and then locking out my legs first before I do the second kind of pull through. Because once the hips kind of shoot up, you end up in a weird, where your legs aren't locked out yet and your upper body isn't locked out. So you can really see it on my last rep, which is coming up right now, with I think it's 706 pounds. You can really see it here where it's like I didn't lock out my legs quick enough, so I started kind of getting that shaky leg on the right side, which is also where I have where I have a pulled calf. So it's understandable why the right side's a little weaker. That's also where I have the SI joint strain. But it ended up being a grinder. I tried my best to hold form, but at least now I know technique-wise where I need to focus on.